Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of The Jamie Hughes Show. My name as always is Jamie Hughes and today I'm going to be giving you my review of Slender Man. Now if you want to keep up to date with all the latest movie news and reviews then make sure you hit that subscribe button, and as always my videos, this review may include spoilers so you have now been warned. So, Slender Man, what to say? It's not great, I'm not going to lie. To be honest with you, it's not even good. It's probably... No, in fact it is. It is the worst film I have seen this year, which is a real shame. But yeah, it's bad. It's really, really not good. But before I focus too much on the negatives and give my reasons why I dislike this movie so much, there are a couple of positives, so we'll just get those out of the way nice and quick, But one of the positives for me in this movie is Joey King and her performance. I think she is a great actress. She really is a rising star. She's definitely better than this movie, but she was good. She was good in this movie, and I want to give her props for it because it did feel like she was the only actress that was really trying in this film. She gave a pretty decent performance. The other kind of thing that I enjoyed about this movie, for how bad it was, it did have one alright scene, one scene where it built up a nice bit of tension, and for the minimal times in this movie it actually built up a bit of horror as well, which was the library sequence, which funnily enough starred Joey King's character Ren, and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much, is because she was so captivating in this scene. But yeah, I thought the library scene and the whole library sequence where she was getting chased around the library was actually pretty good, and a little bit of horror in there, but yeah, I enjoyed that sequence for what it was. So let's move on to the negatives, because there are many, but I'm going to try and condense this down, because if I'm being totally honest, I really can't be bothered talking about this film because it was just so bad. But I think one of the worst things for me about this film is just how boring it was. I don't know what it was trying to do. It wasn't like it was supposed to be different. It wasn't like it was supposed to be a psychological horror and it was supposed to play on your mind and you were supposed to think about this movie hours and days and weeks after it left. It was just there and it was bland and it was boring, and I think the worst thing for me is that they made Slender Man, who is such a cult horror figure, generic and boring, and it just really, really didn't work for me. Another huge problem I have with this film is that it's a horror, and I don't think there was any horror in it. I don't want to sound really pretentious when I say this, but I wasn't scared at all, because I get that there were probably people that were scared and probably got affected by the very minimal jump scares that were in this movie. But you know, you've all seen my trailer reactions to horror films. I'm a little bitch. I jump and get scared like anything, but this movie did not scare me at all. It was kind of, everything was really predictable and everything was really half-assed, even the jump scares. And that's kind of how I feel about this movie. Another funny thing, actually, before I move on, is that I think the biggest jump scare that was in this movie was actually before this movie had even started, when the Nun trailer happened, and there's that jump scare at the air. I think most people jumped at that bit more than what they did throughout this whole movie. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I think my whole thing about this movie is that it was just so half-arsed. Everything just felt like it was thrown in there for the sake of being thrown in there. There wasn't really any plot. Stuff was just happening with no real consequences. I thought the ending was just so shocking, and shockingly bad. There was no attempt at any sort of resolution. It was like, okay, I'm just gonna go and kill myself. I'm gonna go and cling myself to this tree and my sister's gonna be free. We're not even gonna try and stop the Slender Man. You're just gonna let him knob about. I just don't get it. I really, really don't. This movie is not great, and as I say, I think for me it's probably the worst movie of 2018. It's a bold statement, I know, but yeah, really, really bad. I don't really know what to say, to be honest with you. This movie is just so bad. Like, it just didn't try to do anything. The only thing that it did for me was rip off other successful horror movies, such as The Ring. There's moments from it that look totally ripped off. Stuff from Cabin in the Woods. They tried to rip off the best things about those movies and implement it into this movie, and it just really did not work, which I kind of think is a shame, because this movie could have been a real cult horror classic like those movies I've just mentioned, but it was just so half-arsed that I just really don't care about it. It was just so bad, and as I say, I genuinely think this is the worst film I've seen this year. I'm not one for sharing this opinion of people should not go and see movies, but if you are going to go to the cinema and spend £10 to £15 on a film, I would definitely recommend avoiding Slender Man. Go and see something else instead, because this movie is just not, it's not great at all. And if you guys have seen Slender Man, let me know your thoughts on it, as always, down in those comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, sorry, I'm laughing, oh god, it's just so bad, this film. If you did enjoy this video and you want to keep up to date with all the latest movie news and reviews, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the very next episode of The Jamie Hughes Show. Ta-ra!